What's going on, all you guys out there? Welcome back. My name is Patrick, and I will be hosting your official WWE Smackdown review. And is it safe to say now that Team Red is now carrying the flag? This totally looks like maybe SmackDown Creative was bragging about how good they were doing, so Vince took away the pieces, and then he's like, all right, well, think you can make magic again? Let's see you do it. And all right, so SmackDown opens with Charlotte coming to the ring. Charlotte says she got here 7 days and she's tired of waiting. I mean, Charlotte has been on SmackDown for 7 days and you guys haven't given her a title shot yet. Like, what the hell is the matter with you? I mean, her and her dad only combined for like 900 titles, so, she's antsy. She needs that belt. So Naomi comes down here and she goes, well, we don't have kings, we don't have queens around here, but I'm going to give you what you want. So she lays down the belt and starts attacking Charlotte. So Naomi starts attacking Charlotte. Charlotte escapes. She tries getting back in the ring. The ref does like an awful job of stopping her. At one point, Charlotte kicked him, and it looked like she legitimately hurt the referee. And so she's dodging the referee, trying to get back in. Eventually, she tries to climb in through the middle rope, and Naomi drop kicks her out. And then Shane comes out, and he goes, well, this is SmackDown Live. Like, you gotta earn your shit around here. It doesn't matter what your resume says. You have to earn it. So if you want that title shot, then later on tonight you're gonna have to beat Naomi to become the #1 contender for the women's title. So tonight we had two #1 contenders. One of the outcomes, pretty predictable. The second one, nobody in their right goddamn mind would have ever guessed this. Like, this is oh my god. But I told you, if you look at my reviews, I told you something big was coming for that dude. And boom, something big came for that dude. Alright, we come back and Natalia's just sulking in the back, like, oh, why does Charlotte always get all the title shots? So Shane comes in the back and he goes, well, you could have just asked. I mean, you had your shot at Mania to win the title and you didn't do it. And Natalia's like, yeah, you call that a shot? And then Carmella and Ellsworth come out and yada, yada, yada. Then Tamina comes out and yada, yada, yada. And then pans the commercial with them just kind of bickering. These girls, this flock, the lady flock, I call them tonight, including Ellsworth. So that's 4 vaginas if you're counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Ellsworth. He's the last one. All right, so Six Packs Challenge was next, and I had heard about this match, so I would have assumed that this would have been the main event. Honestly, it should have been. It was the most entertaining match of the night, and obviously shock value for what happened. But yeah, man, questionable finish to SmackDown. I don't think I haven't seen a weird ending to a wrestling show like that in a while. And yeah, Raw is definitely a few good hurdles and strides ahead of SmackDown at this point. Raw is definitely gaining steam, and SmackDown is their tire is just slowly coming out of air. There's still time; they can fix it. They can keep on plowing through, but yeah, they're leaking just a little bit. All right, so the six-pack challenge was next with Dolph Ziggler facing Eric Rowan, Jinder Mahal, Mojo Rawley, Luke Harper, and Sami Zayn. And oddly enough, the crowd did not get into his song, and his entrance, his song was the only one that got longer than 10 seconds, and they didn't do the standard Sami Zayn theme song chant. So maybe SmackDown is maybe everyone wanted to see him here, but now that he's here, they're just kind of like, oh, he's the same. He's the exact same. He's gonna play the same role. So some cool spots in here where a triple suplex was teased on three corners. So we got like staggered suplexes. So one came off the far corner, and then another one went parallel, and then Sami Zayn drops down and hits a sunset flip power bomb on Jinder. Then everyone starts trading in offense, and Jinder breaks up a pinfall and tries to get a roll up for the win. Tries to come in and sneak in and get one real quick, kind of like Alexa Bliss like. Harper starts clearing house and then hits a suicide dive on Jinder, and then another on Mojo and Jinder. Harper is really athletic. It's too bad that his push came and went so quickly, but I think he can definitely remain relevant and maybe not world championship status, but his moment came and gone. His moment was the storyline of coming back and taking out Bray, but for whatever reason, he didn't get a shot at Mania. So Rowan sneaks up behind Ziggler in the ring and hits a sweeping head kick on Ziggler. Then he powerbombs Ziggler over the ropes on the rest of the opponents. Um, Rowan had a little bit of a feature in here. There was a segment of the match where he was pretty much just holding the fort in the middle of the ring, fending everybody off. So gave him a little bit of momentum going forward. All right, and then Zayn starts picking up steam, and he hits his flying backflip over the top rope on the outside. That's probably my favorite thing that Zayn does. It's simple, but the way that he does it, it looks really good. It's really well executed. Then Zayn hits the ring again, and then he hits that suplex into the turnbuckle on Jinder, and so he's setting up for the haluva kick. So as he's about to hit it, the Bollywood boys come out from underneath the ring, and they just start holding Sammy's legs. So Sammy turns around to look. And then Jinder hit. I don't know what his finisher is called. They never said it, but it kind of looked like a Cobra Clutch into just like a drop down slam. And so he wins 1, 2, 3, and that is your shock of the night. I told you that Jinder Mahal had big things coming. It was just kind of obvious. I mean, he was getting major play in big spots against big stars. He was jobbing out, but he was still getting the moment. And I told you, somebody in the back obviously likes him, and so now he's the #1 contender. That is just crazy. All right, then after he wins, he gets interviewed by Renee Young, and he's like, "You people boo me? You hate me because I don't look like a classic American? Is it because of my family's wealth? Is it because of how intelligent I am?" And he goes, "You people don't ever accept diversity, but you're not going to have a choice when I become the world champion." Then Randy Orton comes out, and he goes, "Well, congratulations, Jinder. You won the jackpot. But your prize is not going to be this title. It's going to be an RKO given to you by yours truly." And then a Bray promo comes out. Basically, it says that Orton doesn't know what he's going to get himself into. And once he gets Orton into the House of Horrors, he's never going to be able to get out of there. Ever. And then he tells him to run. This was probably one of the more short and sweet ones. A lot of the animations to the video, describing it really wouldn't do justice. You'd have to go back and watch it, but the audio visual clips were probably the most interesting thing about it. It was an okay promo. It was pretty good. Like I said, now that they're on opposite shows, I mean, it kind of looks like we're going to get 2 Bray promos a week. So we're going to get one on Raw and one on SmackDown. And, there's only so many things that you can say. And it's just like, I'm going to murder you, and then I'm going to take your tears and then quench my thirst with them, and then I'm going to take back what is rightfully mine, and I'm going to avenge Sister Abigail, and you don't even know what's coming. Just over it, you know? It was cool to see. It gave Orton something to do. Gave him an important storyline again. But, yeah, just get this fucking feud over with. I'm just done with it. Okay, Nakamura wasn't even on the show. One of the main features of SmackDown now is Shinsuke, and it basically just showed a promo showing, you know, his past feats. Shows him just pretty much annihilating everyone and seeing how he's getting over with the crowd. I don't know, he didn't even get Shinsuke. You could have at least just done what Finn Balor did yesterday and just feed him a guppy, but yeah, it is kind of looking that they're saving him for pay-per-views, and it's kind of a shame. I mean, like, because the bulk of you're going to lean heavily on Charlotte, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Nakamura. And Nakamura's had 3 SmackDowns already, has barely even had a promo, and hasn't even had a sniff of a match or a feud or anything of that nature. So it's like, dude, what are you waiting for? Like, he's finally at the show. He's where everybody wants him to be. So, you know, do something with him. Like, make everybody interested in him because everyone wants to see it. And you know, I hope he just doesn't turn into like a pay-per-view attraction or like kind of like a Lesnar type where he just appears every once in a while. But you know, you have a great tool in the bag. You know, don't be afraid to use it. You know, let him loose. And then we cut to the back, and Renee Young is interviewing AJ Styles. Renee asks who he would rather face for the United States Championship, Jericho or Y2J, or he asked who he would rather face for the title, Jericho or Owens, and he goes, well, it doesn't really matter because I have home field advantage because this is the house that AJ Styles built. And then Corbin comes out and he goes, oh, sorry, I'm late. It's like, why are you even messing with this dude? Like, it was laughable to hear Baron Corbin say, you know, why even talking to this dude? Because that dude is single-handedly carrying your company. He is the face that runs the place, and he literally this main event that he had was probably one of the worst AJ Styles matches I've ever seen, and honestly it wasn't even that terrible. The finisher, get to the finisher, but god damn, like, why would you do that? So basically Corbin interrupts him and AJ goes, well, you know, I'm better than you, and, you know, I beat Zayn and I beat you last week. And then Corbin goes, well, you pinned him, you didn't pin me, so I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, well, I'll prove it again tonight. So Corbin goes, all right, but you asked for this. So then we have AJ Styles facing Baron Corbin as your main event. Six-pack challenge should have still been the main event, but what are you gonna do? AJ Styles, you know, he headlines it. He makes events. That's what everyone came to see. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad match. Just the finish. Charlotte's making her way to the ring, and she's interrupted by the Lady Flock again. So 4 vaginas, like the 4 horsemen, except the 4 vaginas. So you have Carmella, Natalya, Ellsworth, and Tamina. And so Charlotte just kind of like shoos him. And so she heads to the ring. And Charlotte and Naomi did a really good match. It was their first interaction. Naomi always has high risk of a botch fest. There were some sloppy moments on this, but overall it was a was a good first feud for the both of them. I mean, if Naomi's going to be at the top of the women's division, then she's going to have to get used to wrestling Charlotte, so she's going to have to practice and getting that chemistry down. It was almost obvious that Charlotte was going to win. I mean, why would she just lose that? It was curious that I thought maybe a storyline that they were going into was, Charlotte is going for it, then she's about to win, and then, one of the Lady Flock come out and ruin it for her, and then it comes into, like, another triple threat or four-way or whatever. Yeah, it wasn't a bad, it weren't really a lot of noticeable spots to talk about on this match, but basically Charlotte hits a natural selection at the end, then she picks up the win. And then she goes to the back, and all the Lady Flock are just kind of like sitting there with their hand on their hips, and they're just like, oh, this girl has won again. And then Charlotte just kind of grins at them, and she walks away, and then she goes, woo! That made me laugh. That's probably the only time where emotion was really struck out of me this show. I don't know, that woo just kind of made me laugh for a little bit. It was a rough day, for sure. Alright, then we had American Alphas, who have a tag match with the Clones as a repercussion of what happened last week when the Clones just randomly attacked American Alpha and they were introduced as heel. So, and now they get to take them on one-on-one. Alright, so this was a pretty quick match. So one cool spot of this match was Epico hit a double underhook gutbuster on Gable. It was like a double underhook, and then it was kind of like a code breaker. That move looks pretty dangerous. I think that there's a high risk that somebody will actually get injured, because I mean, you got to tuck your neck like really quick in order to push yourself like into his chest so you can get the knees in yours. So I could see that going wrong in the near future. So be on the lookout for for a double underhook gutbuster. You don't want to take one of those. Basically, the ending was Epico hit a cheap shot on Jordan. Primo capitalized by pinning him and grabbing the tights. So it gives, I mean, American Alphas don't have to necessarily win to keep themselves relevant because they've already shown their talents. The Clones are brand new again, and they're rebranded. So in order to gain some steam, what do? You give the heel a roll-up win. It gives them the victory, and it keeps the babyface relatively undamaged because the bad guy got one over on the good guys. So it's good. Depth in the tag team division is always welcome. So adding a new heel tag team can never be a bad thing. Alright, next up we had the Kevin Owens Open Challenge. And he was facing Gary Gandy, a jobber from Louisville, Kentucky. So Kevin opens it up and he throws Gandy into the corner and he starts stomping on him, and then he hits a pop-up powerbomb, and that is it. This is pretty quick. It was like 30 seconds, and he grabs the mic and he basically says that as long as he is the United States champion, he is the face of America, and not AJ Styles or Chris Jericho is going to take that away from him. It was good. I feel like Kevin Owens can get a little bit more vicious. I hope the writing doesn't get lackadaisical with Kevin Owens, because his viciousness is his thing. Not a fan of the clean cut thing, so can't wait till his beard grows back, because he just looks so awkward. So then after he wins, he volunteers his services to the announcers table for the main event, which is Corbin and AJ Styles. So Styles and Corbin are mixing it up. They start off by taunting each other in the ring. Styles gives him a bunch of kicks. Corbin hits a forearm and says, "It only takes one, AJ. I mean, you can hit all these little fancy kicks on me, but all I gotta do is game over." Corbin slides out and around the corner. He does that where he shoots by the post, and then he goes on the other side, and then he comes back in, and then does some kind of offense. Seems like everyone's kind of getting something like this. You have the Ambrose, where he slingshots himself off the middle rope into a clothesline. Seems like everybody's getting fancy little schnozzes like that. I mean, then you have the drive-by with Roman Reigns, so it kind of seems to be the new signature trend, stuff around the post. So after Corbin slides out and around the corner, he hits that massive clothesline, and then Corbin throws AJ under the turnbuckles and into the ring post. And AJ is just such a good seller. I mean, Corbin just like literally just shoves him like you would throw like clothes underneath your bed. And so Styles' side just hits the ring post, and then he just flops on the outside, like no kind of cradling or anything. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a bad AJ Styles match. I mean, I would personally classify this match as one of his worst, one of his more forgettable ones. But, you know, his worst is a lot better than a lot of people's bests. So, you know, not always going to be a winner every single time. Corbin hits AJ with a chokeslam into his knee. This was a cool spot. Corbin really was setting the tone with his aggression and violence, and he does have the makings of the champion. Working with AJ Styles is going to do nothing but help him in the future. So, I mean, who better to learn than the hottest wrestler in the game? And, you know, Corbin's going to have to take his licks, and he's going to have to wait patiently, very a la Dean Ambrose-like, but he'll get there. He'll get there. Styles then gets a calf crusher on Corbin. Corbin gets to the rope. Corbin hits a perfect deep six on AJ. Whenever his AJ is in the air and he's doing some kind of spinning, he really sells the shit. Same with like the Blue Thunder Bomb. Same exact thing. Sold both pretty much exactly the same. Action goes to the outside. Styles is sizing up Owens as he sets Corbin up for the Styles Clash on the outside. Corbin counters and launches Styles into Owens. So he just launches him behind him, and he hits him right into Owens. Now the count's at 5, and so Styles looks at the ref, and then he hits the apron, and then he hits a flying forearm on Corbin. Corbin falls over the guardrail, and then Styles comes in, beats the 10 count. Corbin does not beat the 10 count, and AJ Styles wins by countout. The show ends with AJ Styles posing to the crowd. Owens is huffing and puffing by the announcer's table, getting mad, and Corbin is embarrassed. What the fuck, dude? I mean, like, was there something that was supposed to happen that did not happen? Did somebody fuck up? Did somebody forget? Did, like, Corbin forget the finisher? Why would you have a main event and just end on, like, some lame-ass count-out? I don't think I've ever seen a main event just end in a count-out. And it wasn't even, like, a good count-out. Like, if you were going to do that, why not just do, like, a Styles Clash or something onto the guardrail? I mean, he hits this forearm, and Corbin's supposed to be this powerful beast of a dude, and that keeps him down for the remainder. It was just crazy. Overall, for this show, I would say that this show was Uh, I don't know. It's hard because I think that across the board, the actually wrestling matches, they were all like C's, but I didn't really like anybody's promos. Um, and I would say that this SmackDown would get like a 3.5. Um, like I said before, Raw is definitely leaps and bounds ahead of SmackDown at the moment. This questionable finish just kind of has me pissed off. Um, so I would give this a 3.5. And before I do the close, something tragic did happen today. Um, my friend, so I guess the story goes that he came he came to work to fill out some paperwork, and then when he left, his motorcycle hit a guardrail, and he did not make it. So definitely condolences to this guy's family, and yeah, it's crazy. I mean, so yeah, and that is pretty much all I have for you today. So yeah, I would give Raw a 3.5. Nothing really special. Raw, Team Red, 2 in a row, baby. Going for 3 next week. I don't really see how SmackDown can get any worse, so it looks like nothing but up from here, but we will see. And until next time, you crazy kids, see ya.